Hello everyone, today we'll show you how to make control assignments in ChasePlane. Controls are located in Preferences, Control Assignments. Here you have all the controls to move the camera around or different actions regarding various features of ChasePlane. Assigning controls in ChasePlane is very simple. You have a key column, which are the keys on your keyboard. You have buttons that are the buttons on your joystick or controller. And you have here the axis to move any axis on your joystick. So if you want to assign, let's say, a button for forward and backward, we could click the blank key here. And I'll use the W key to move forward. I'll use the S key to move backward. We'll move left using the A key. Move right using the D key. Moving up, E. Moving down, Q. So all those keys are fairly accessible in the same region of the keyboard. We'll start from there. We'll start with those for now. Those controls are assigned in ChasePlane, so they will work with ChasePlane. But if you already have those keys assigned in the simulator, there will be a conflict because ChasePlane will start moving the camera and the sim will try to do something with the assignments as well. So what we want to do is remove those assignments from the simulator. So we'll go into Options, Settings, Controls, Buttons and Keys. So you could search in this list all day to remove your controls, or a technique that I devised during the development process of ChasePlane is simply to assign one of the controls that are here and then removing the assignments afterwards. So ADF2, just a random one. Let's double click W, it already assigned, so we overwrite it. Q, we overwrite it. E, same thing. We do the same thing with the S key, A key, and finally the D key. Finally, we remove this assignments, and now we are good to go. Now if we go back to the simulator, let me bring up ChasePlane here. You see we have our controls here. The camera will move with those controls without doing any unexpected behavior in the simulator. So that's how you assign keys to your various controls in ChasePlane. You can do the same for the buttons. So here we have our controller. If I press the A button, we see that it's already assigned in the simulator because it changed the view. Let me confirm this one here. So X55A, let's go back into the controls here, buttons and keys. We have our stick here selected. Let's do the same thing and assign the same button. Let's confirm, yes, and then we delete the assignments. Let's go back into ChasePlane, go back into pilot mode. Moving forward is the button A. So if we press it, there you go. No more conflicts. Same can be said for the axis. Now the axis is a bit more tricky because we have different types of axes. All right. Let's try to assign one. I have an Xbox controller here. So if I move the right stick, we see that it's already assigned in the background in the simulator. But if I move the right stick here, we see that the axis is relative to the middle. If I leave it in its default position, it will try to align to the middle. So we have a positive range and we have a negative range. Some other axes don't have this. Let's say I have my throttle, SATEC throttle. It goes from 0 to 100 or the reverse. But if I leave it in the default position, it will be either full or 0, okay? And that's what the absolute axis does here. It allows you to align the axis from a positive to negative range to simply a positive one. So some joystick may need you to enable this and the reverse axis if required. Head tracking is not relevant at the moment. Now let's go back to the presets. if you want to assign some shortcut keys to your presets here, you hold Control. And holding Control will give you a lot of controls. If you want to move your presets up and down, remove your preset and also assign keys and buttons as shortcut to your preset. So let's create a shortcut for the pilot one. Here, I'll use my numpad 1 as the shortcut for pilot. Let's confirm that. What I can do as well is assign the same key that I assigned for the pilot view to a second view and cycle through them. So that's a good way to make categories. If I confirm this, you see that I have numpad 1 to set to both of them. And if I press 1, let me see if it's already assigned to the views. There you go. It cycles through them. We can also add the same concept to the tail camera. So I can assign numpad 1 to the tail camera, and it will include this camera to the cycle. Camera, pilot, overhead, tail, pilot, overhead, tail. It's a good way to make categories. If I want to remove an assignment, it's basically the same thing. I click on it, I press delete, and it removes the assignment. The concept that I explained earlier to remove conflicting assignments in the options of your simulator still applies here. So make sure you don't have any conflicts with those keys. That's it. That's all there is to it. That's how control assignments work in ChasePlane.